Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to City Boys Podcast. This is episode 4, right? Pretty sure.
Episode 4.
Episode 4, guys. Welcome back. I'm Grayson.
It's Ethan.
And I am Jacob.
Well, y'all, welcome back. We got a banger episode recapping the St. Louis City match against LA Galaxy, as well as a little bit of a preview towards our match against DC United. We got a lot of good stuff coming up. Let's kick it off with a little lineup. Let's look at the standings for the MLS this year.
Yeah, so right now, after mostly everybody's played 4 matches, Minnesota is a surprise, sitting top of the table with 10 points. Vancouver in second with 7, tied with Portland on 7 points. LA Galaxy, St. Louis, Sporting Kansas City, Colorado's our top 7 so far in the Western Conference.
With that, Ethan, you want to talk about the lineup from the match against LA?
Yes, sir, I do. So, I'm going to start from the back and work our way forward. Roman Berkey, our captain, our leader, our brick wall in the back, gets a start. Across the back, from right to left, we got Thomas Totland. Yarrow gets his first start of the year. Nilsson remains in the center back position, and Markinich at our left back. From left to right in the midfield, we have Celio Pompeu, the man in form. Thomas Ostrak gets a start in the center of the park, along with Chris Durkin. Indiana Vasilev on the right side this time. Starting up top to end up this 4-4-2 is Joao Klaus and AZ Jackson starting again up top. It's getting familiar almost.
Yep, a pretty familiar lineup that we've seen, just a couple little tweaks here and there due to the availability of our players. We did take a big loss with Edward Leuven shortly before the match. Reports say that he has a hamstring injury. Hamstring injury is looking to be reassessed in 2 weeks. So hopefully we'll get to hear more about that. Also missing Blom. I think he is out until mid-April. So hopefully we'll get to see those guys back on the pitch soon. I'll go ahead and give you a breakdown of how this match went for us. So game started out pretty hot. LA Galaxy opening the scoring in the 3rd minute. It looked to be a pretty scary game with that hot opening. But I will say we did have a chance right off the bat as well. And then they came right down our side and put it away. Dejan Joveljic with the finish, little classy finish in the box. After that, it was a little bit of back and forth between LA and City. LA would take control for the first 15. St. Louis City's pressure would cause Ricky Puig, LA Galaxy's star boy, to make a mistake and lose the ball in his own half, with Thomas Ostrak putting on the pressure in the 27th minute, picking off the ball, and then finishing past McCarthy. Little 5-hole finish, classy, nice celebration, brings City level on terms. And it would end at halftime 1-1. Shortly after half, Joseph Paintsil, who really tore up STL, would get his first. A lot of chances came from Paintsil getting through balls over the top, getting a lot of space. Marcanic did not have the best game, and Paintsil really exposed him on that left side. Ball over the top, Paintsil acres of space, finishes past Berkey quite easily. 60th minute, who would have thought? Joachim Nilsson with the bicycle kick. Oh my!
Yeah, the least likely score in the least likely way.
Yeah,
Goal of the year contender.
At first when I saw it, I didn't really know who I was looking at. I thought it was Letten on the field again. So that brings us level on 2-2. The game wears on. Ebbs and flows. LA Galaxy taking control for most of it. St. Louis City finding our attacks late in the game. 88th minute, off of a corner. The ball gets pressured in the box by Kyle Hebert. McCarthy can't handle the pressure and bobbles it into his own goal, putting City up 3-2 with minutes to spare. Sadly, as Ethan pointed out. Our defense on set pieces continues to fail us. And in the 95th minute, Maya Yoshida, the center back from LA Galaxy, puts in a header off of a set piece, gets them a vital point to remain undefeated. City and LA Galaxy remain undefeated.
Crazy result. It's weird to see St. Louis City on the other side of a late point snatching, or a snatch and grab. We were talking about how exciting it was for that to be our result in Austin last week. So I'm sure on the flip side, LA Galaxy are feeling much the same way that we felt last week.
Yeah, I think if I were an LA Galaxy fan, a point doesn't feel deserved enough based on how well they did play. Granted, they had to come back and snatch a point from us, but they were on the front foot for most of it. And like we had talked about in our last episode, our Gegenpress was an issue for them, but they were doing much better defensively handling it than we were as far as keeping the ball out of the back of our net. We relied on Berkey, who is a god. He still deserves to be playing in Europe, but I'm so glad he's still between our sticks.
I do want to say I made a pretty good call. I said that Martin Caceres was gonna go crazy, and I mean, late in the match, he had a red card for a pretty cynical foul on Big Sam, who had a breakaway in the last couple minutes of the game. But I mean, it was warranted. That was a huge chance for City to win the game in the final moments.
Yeah, it's frustrating for us, obviously, as fans, seeing that happen, because I'd give Sam 75% chance of the time if he's not fouled there, he's put into the back of the net. And so to see that foul happen, it's completely frustrating on our end. But on the flip end, to be an LA Galaxy fan, you're cheering. You're like, thank you. We love you for getting a red card and saving a point for our team.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When you put yourself in Caceres' shoes, you've seen what Sam can do with his body and muscle all year long. There's one option for you as a defender. And if you're already on a yellow card, get your money's worth, you know? So I'm not even gonna lie, I wasn't too mad at Caceres. I do think he could have maybe been not safer. That's probably not the right word to use, but less cynical. I mean, Big Sam, we need him, Don't take out our man. I think that your point about our gegenpress is 100% right. Sometimes it looks so strong, and this match it had its strong moment, like for the Pooch goal or the where Ostrak just picks it up, doesn't give enough space to turn, and boom, immediately a goal off that. But also the weaknesses were highly on display. That ball over the top from a classy midfielder or one that can split the center backs and our outside back to a dangerous wing player. Yeah, that's something that St. Louis is going to have to look out for.
Yeah, I told you guys last week, Puig is a fucking problem. He has De Bruyne-esque energy. And from the get-go, we should have two-footed him. As soon as the whistle was blown, we should have played like hockey players, dropped the gloves, and just beat his ass in the center of the field.
Hey, I honestly, I think we handled him pretty well. He earned a 7 on Foot Mob, and I really credit Durkin for shutting him down, never let him turn. Also, I saw Pompeu really hustling every time Puig received the ball with his back to our side of the field. He was never turning around. He had to play it back or, find some other way to get out of there. We did get turned up by Mark Delgado as well.
Yeah, Delgado is a classy player. Definitely a noteworthy performance from him. Obviously the assist, but just an all-around great game from Delgado as well.
So yeah, I think there was positives and negatives to take away from this match. Before we move into our 3 points, I did want to also mention that we did play LA Galaxy in the preseason with a pretty strong side. We won that match 2-1.
Right before we get into the 3 points, we can all agree that this is not the strongest 11 that we would have hoped to travel with. Missing Edward Leuven and Tim Parker both right before the game was a huge blow. I'm not even sure if they traveled or not, but I think when we see them again later on in the season, hopefully everybody's healthy. It's going to be at home, and I'm expecting a different result, especially with kind of like half our B team out there. to go and get 3 points in LA, if we have our full A team, it's possible that this game could have been 4-3 in our favor.
And
Uh,
honestly, I think Markinich, I think he'll get a lot of slack from this past game, but I don't think that's due for him. I think Paintsville did outclass him and outplay him, but Markinich didn't have a garbage performance. Yeah, it could have been better, but not not bad at all from the young man.
yeah, he got exposed on pace, and he has a little bit to do on positioning and that sort of thing, but he really has shown us what quality of a player he is, especially at the end of last season. He was really important signing for the team, and I think him and Dyer will both be able to push each other and hopefully get the best out of each other.
It's really tough when the guy running at you can top out at a top speed of 21.3 miles an hour. That is
Yeah,
insane.
man,
He was
that's
running 21.3 miles an hour at one point in the game.
yeah. I mean, imagine you're getting on the highway in your car, and when you start getting on the highway, that's the speed that Paintsville just running along next to you. Like it's despicably fast.
Slotting a ball past Berkey on the side of the highway. Any last thoughts before we break to our points?
First point for this week, something that I learned. We should all be thanking the soccer gods that we tied, which I know is not the most American thing out of me, but we didn't cover this in the game breakdown, but Galaxy hit the post 3 times in the first half. 2 of those post hits came on the same play, so I'm not going to give them 2 goals for one play, but definitely could have gotten 2 goals out of those 3 post hits. So shout out to soccer gods, shout out goalposts, honorable man of match, the goalposts. In the last couple of games, we don't start playing with that chip on our shoulder like we're used to seeing us play up until we're down a goal. As soon as we get scored on, you see us start to chase and start to really put the high press on. But these last 2 games, we started off really slow and kind of okay with it being 0-0, as opposed to last year at this point in time, the league was calling us just an expansion team. We were getting lucky goals. We were slated to finish as one of the worst teams in the league. We had a lot of bulletin board material for us to have that chip on our shoulder, and I don't know if we have any bulletin board material for us to really go out there and force a win out of these games. We've tied our last we've tied our last 2 games, and we have 3 draws on the year. We won 5 straight last year with a lesser side, in my opinion. I think we improved in the offseason, but in the standings, we've only gone down. For this next game against DC at home, it is a reunion with some of our former players, but I think with City fans rocking, I think it's a good get back on track week. Hopefully these last couple of weeks have given us some new bulletin board material for us to go out there and start hot.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, we were really lucky to escape with a point there. There were some crazy chances. I missed the first half because I was working, so I watched the second half live. So when I was rewatching the highlights, I forgot that I missed the first half. I was like, where are these chances coming from? No, LA definitely missed out on some big chances in the first half, and that's something I'm sure they will improve on as the season goes on as well. So hopefully our defending can also improve as the season goes on.
Definitely we got the luck went our way this game, I would say, but something that is not lucky at all is the man standing in our goal that also very much kept us in our game. I feel like I the team of the match day award speaks for itself, but his performance until you see the saves that he's making from point blank range and these attempts, it's a really, really unbelievable effort from Berkey on the night.
Yeah, Berkey finished with 6 saves on the night, and to put it into perspective, last week Stuver had 5, and we were impressed with that stat line. So, add an extra save on top of that speaks for itself.
Yeah, Berkey was really standing on his head this match. Definitely deserved man of the match.
I think it did. It might have gone to Paintsville
I think, yeah, because Paintsville ended up
because
getting.
he did get the game or the not game winner, game tire, but I know he didn't even get the game tying goal. I don't know anything about this game. I don't even think I watched it.
Trying to think of who assisted it. Gaston Brugman got the assist too. So it's not even. That's crazy. Yeah, bro had 1 goal and they gave him man of the match. Berkey saved all of his chances except for one. Give Berkey the man of the match. He deserves it. I'm gonna do it. Point number 2. I'm gonna hit y'all with some alliteration. Durkin destroys the doubters. Durkin has been absolutely solid for us this season. For someone that we definitely thought might play second fiddle to Blom, he's definitely showing why he has locked down that starting position this season. Even with Blom being out, but he has started every match for us except for one this season, that being, I think, our first game of the season. Yeah, the only match that he didn't start was against RSL, and he was used later in the game. I think he got 8 minutes in that one, but every game that he has played in, he has got above a 7.0 rating. He is an absolute monster. He brings almost a similar kind of defensive mindset or defensive stat line to the team that Bomb does. Um, Willing to put in those just crunching challenges throughout the midfield. But the real stat I wanted to shout out on Durkin was his tackles won. His tackle percentage is 75. So bro is
Damn.
tackling at the same rate that people are passing. Like this dude is nuts. And I think our play style, Gegenpress, will also help to unlock his offensive talent. Last season, he ended with 3 goals and I think 2 assists off of 20 shots on the season. This season so far, he already has 8 shots, so he's already at half of the shots he has had last season entirely. We did see that he does have some goal scoring ability in the preseason. He did score against LA Galaxy in that 2-1 win. So hopefully we can see him put a couple goals in the back of the net this year for St. Louis City. Maybe he will get his first against his former club next week against DC United.
Yeah, I've been so impressed with Chris Durkin on both sides of the ball. His defensive work rate is probably one of the highest in the teams, and you can tell that he wants to create on attack. I think if I had one prediction for Chris Durkin, it's that he will have over 5 goal contributions this season. Whether it come from assists or goals, I think above 5.
5 is exactly what he had last season. He had 3 goals and 2 assists on the year.
He's improving on it.
When we traded for Durkin, we sent Stroud and Bartlett over. When that trade went through, I went and looked at some of the highlights, and you might be able to find this, Grayson, for post edit. But one of the first highlights that came up for Durkin was a long range screamer of a goal that he hit. And when I saw that, I was like, yeah, totally sold. I love you, Stroud, but we'll see you next time. Bartlett, you played like 25% of the game, so you're just a little cherry on top to that trade. But I'm really glad that he's who we went out and got. He's been a huge difference for us, and with losing Leuven for at minimum 2 weeks, he's going to be a staple in that midfield. He's going to be needed. If it were up to me to create the center mid lineup, which it's not, but if it were, I would probably have Blum and Durkin sitting back for in the CDM role, and then Rasmus Alm at the center attacking mid position. I've liked what I've seen out of him coming off the bench these last couple games, and if his fitness is there, I think he's the creative difference maker we need in the center of the field.
Last little point on Durkin before we move on. I just want to say I was really nervous when we lost Stroud. I know not everyone in the SDL fan base is super hot on Stroud. I think I might have been. I was one of those lone fans. He had a great offensive output, high energy, and he fit the system really well. So I was disappointed to lose someone who fit our system, but Chris Durkin has bought into the system so well. Love to see his work rate and effort. He's going to be a monster. STL loves him.
Ethan, do you want to take us into our third point?
I would love to, Jacob. So I'm gonna name a couple stats here where who I want to talk about is the leader. Goals, shots per 90, and successful dribbles per 90. When I say those three statistics, I know a certain face pops to mind. Maybe it's Elio Pompeu. Maybe it's AZ Jackson. No, 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 no. It's the man Sam Adeniran. This is my third and final point. Is Sam freaking Adeniran. This guy needs to be seeing more minutes. He is an unbelievable energy player. Like the team feeds off his energy so much, the physicality that he brings to the field, and just his tenacity, really. Even if the shot that he takes isn't the best. I'm thinking of uh his shot against LA where he missed the near post. It was a similar area to where he scored against Austin, and very different outcome. He shanked it. But the more I see Sam get into those positions, the more I want him to be the person in those positions and that the ball is falling to. Late on in the game, when the ball is cleared late, I want Sam Adeniran chasing it down so that Caceres has to get a straight red card. I think that that's the type of energy that he's brought to the team this season. And I do think that he and Klaus actually complemented each other. I know that in the past I've said they're not a great dance duo, but they look good out there. They were on the same page. And so I think if those two can be on the same page and figuring it out on the field, then the rest of the league is in trouble. Personally, I haven't been the most impressed with AZ at striker. I don't think that he's been terrible, but I do think that we should get our best players in their best positions. So if that's putting Sam Adeniran and João Klaus up there and letting them figure it out and causing havoc for the center backs, then that's in my opinion, our selection.
I do think that this next game, we need to see Sam and Klaus start again. And we need both of them up top. I don't know if that means playing 4-4-2 one more time or switching up formation finally and trying something different. But yeah, I do agree. I think Sam and Klaus, they have their moments of working together, and I think it's starting to click, and hopefully we can see something that would unlock Klaus this season. He looks great. He had a lot of fantastic just moments under pressure where he has quick feet. He can get out of a situation, find a pass. He needs to get his first goal, and then they'll just start coming. I think Sam can help him do that.
Dinaran's first touch of the game when he came off the bench was an assist. He subbed on at that corner kick and headed it for the assist. If Big Sam's not playing, we're going to need more out of Klaus. I know it was the opposite last year when we were like, if Klaus isn't on the field, at that point it was Joe Akini, but I think it's definitely flipped the script now. Big Sam he's the hot hand. He needs to be up top. Klaus needs to figure it out, and I'm sure he will. He's a streaky scorer, like we've mentioned in the past. But without Big Sam, it's really tough to guarantee that we're going to have goals. He has an eye for goal and a rocket of a foot. The fact that he missed doesn't, like in the shot you're talking about, Ethan, that's one of those 9 times out of 10 he's going to miss from that angle. But he still had the balls to take the strike again, even though the whole league saw him rocking it in. So, yeah, love Big Sam.
Yeah, and just on Klaus, I do think that he will break that duck this season. I think that Klaus is due for at least 15 goals this season. It's just a matter of being out there. And while I can really appreciate Bradley Carnell's next man up mentality, I do kind of think that you might have to just give his guys a chance a little bit. You know what I mean?
Definitely, definitely. I mean, he has started to give a couple more players some playing time, and we saw Oscar get a start today, or not today, but on the weekend, and that paid off. He got the goal. Sorry.
My only negative about playing Klaus and Adeniran together is we don't really have a striker sub after that. Like,
Right.
I'm sure the two of them could play 90, but after like that 70th minute, they really do start to slow down. And Thorson can play up top. He's not a true out and out striker like Klaus or Big Sam. So kind of like point 3.5 with Ethan's point is if we are going to play the two of them up top, we still got time. We need to go out and sign somebody or bring somebody up like Johnny Klein from our City 2 squad just to be able to come off the bench and not force these guys to play 90 minutes every single weekend.
Right. I don't think we have like an out and out third striker on our bench. So I think, yeah, pulling up even a young guy who can be a last second, super sub, just play for 20 minutes and see how he does. I think that would be a great beneficial piece, even if we don't, spend a couple million
Did,
on a new DP.
am I mistaken, or is Brandon McSorley, who we signed in the super draft, he's a striker, isn't he? I know, granted, he just got signed and all, but we
I
might have we
I
might
actually
have a
forgot
young
about
and up and coming player. Um, so Jacob, I think that's a really excellent point. To be fair, we don't want to run our two main men into the ground.
it's going to be a long season if we start in both them. So looking forward to next week. We have a matchup, pretty favorable matchup against DC United. So yeah, like Jacob mentioned, we are getting a reunion. We're gonna see Jared Stroud, who, shout out to him, did get his first goal for DC United. It was a pretty nice goal. I think the game ended 1-1 still. But yeah. Oh wait, no, they lost. They got destroyed by Inter Miami. Never mind. Luis Suarez put two past him. My bad. My bad. But Jared Stroud, hey, you got something. So we're we're gonna go there next week. Is it a home game or an away game?
Home game.
Okay, better. I like that. I really like that.
Back
Uh,
at City Park for the first time in 2 weeks. That's going to be a great feeling for the club, I'm sure.
mhm.
It's much needed too. This was a tough 2 game road trip that we went on. Going to Texas and then heading all the way out to LA. Time difference. It's going to be nice to have City Park rocking and be back on our home field.
Couple notable players from DC United this season. They were in a kind of like a rebuild stage, so they did buy some new DPs. They got Christian Benteke, fantastic player, Premier League experience. Didn't know how he was going to perform, but then last season he really kind of quietly banged in some goals. Like, dude was real nice. They also have Mateusz Klick, another Premier League center defensive mid, played for Leeds. A couple other players that I'm missing. I really just don't know too much about DC.
Now, I've heard mumbles of Aaron Herrera being good. Um, and, show our boy Lucas Bartlett some love. But yeah, other than that, I don't know too much about DC United. I will be totally honest. I know they are
They're
underperforming, but
yeah,
uh,
they're currently sitting in ninth place in the Eastern Conference with only one win. I think for this weekend, we should be expecting a win. How large of a win is up for debate, but like I said earlier, in my opinion, this is a get back on track game. It's going to be a game that we're going to come away feeling good about if all things go right. Granted, anything can happen in 90 minutes, but this isn't necessarily a team I would fear, at least at this point in the season. They do have Christian Benteke, but Joachim Nilsson's on fire. As long as Berkey's between the net, I'll take Berkey over Christian Benteke.
Hopefully, we'll get to see Mr. Tim P back in the lineup as well.
something notable about DC United I found they played Al Hilal in the preseason. Just kind of
Okay.
How did
random.
that go?
They lost 3-1. To be fair,
Uh,
Al Hilal was in mid-season though, so
Al Hilal smashed Inter Miami, or was that Al? I know that Al Nasir smashed Miami like 6-0 or something like that.
I
is
just it's
the
weird.
is the Saudi league better than the MLS now? Is that what we've come to? We're not even a top 7 league in the world anymore.
I think our league is better, but individual Saudi teams are better. Like Al Hilal, Al Nasir, and Al Ali. I think. Don't quote me on that. They're green. I don't know. They got Ben Mendy. They got Frank Kessier. They got some ballers on their squad, man. So yeah, I think there's like three teams in the Saudi League that would just mop up MLS. But other than that, I think some MLS teams might be able to compete.
Dude, I don't know. This brings up a good debate though, because I think I saw it was Alexi Lalas on Twitter talking about that an MLS side could finish mid-table in the Premier League.
I'm saying no.
No, yeah, we don't. Yeah, we can. I think we can all agree that anything that comes out of Alexi Lalas's mouth is nonsense.
It's a stinker, brother. It's a stinker.
Has no idea what he's talking about.
I don't think an MLS team would get relegated to the championship, but I do not think we would be a mid-table team. We would be just above relegation battle at best.
I actually think we get relegated. No lie. I guess the best team in the MLS, like from last season, I guess would be Columbus. They do have
We could
MLS level
argue,
talent. Like they got Cucho Hernandez, who put in work at Watford for years. So he's definitely Premier League caliber player. So I
Yeah,
mean,
I think they scrap through a relegation fight. I think you're a good MLS team just beats out relegation in the Premier League.
maybe not. Yeah, maybe not dead last, but
Anyways, this match preview got a little derailed. Go for the
No, it'll be
predictions,
all
Jen.
fun and games at the pre-game. Hugging Stroud, saying what's up, and then when the whistle blows, and Stroud has a Stroud-esque foul against one of our players, that's when all the gloves are going to come off.
score predictions.
Who wants to go first?
So I have to say, guys, for a few minutes last week, I thought I was super right, but then I texted the group chat and I might have jinxed the result, to be honest. I was like, I can't believe I called 3-2. I looked up from my phone and LA Galaxy was scoring. So I'm gonna go for a more comprehensive 3-0 victory this time. I think a clean sheet at City Park to make a statement at home. This is not a place you come and beat us or even score goals. Yeah, and that'll be the statement. Goal. It's coming from Klaus. It's coming from Joao Klaus. 3-0.
No.
Clean sheet.
Well, close.
We've all been wanting Klaus to score every game this season, so I'm hoping that he gets the account open at home. He can go crazy. You can see his big ass just.
Yes, bring a City Park a gift, Santa Claus, please.
I will say his celebrations are always just perfect. Jacob, what's your score line?
So I like the clean sheet, Ethan. I'm going to piggyback clean sheet. I'm going to go 2-0. I think it's not going to be a crazy high scoring affair. I think once we bag the first goal, DC United might even just shell up and just play direct balls to Benteke. Goal scorer. I'm going to pick somebody different. I don't think any of us have picked so far. I know last week none of us had Nielsen scoring a bicycle kick, but I'm going to go maybe less crazy, no bicycle kicks, but I think Rasmus Alm gets on the score sheet.
Before I make my prediction, I want to say something that I want to see happen, something that I want to see St. Louis get better at is grinding out a 1-0 win. Nothing pretty, just scoring one goal, shoring up the defense, and I don't want to even see that other team get close to scoring. Like, no chances. That's what I would love to see. I don't think we're there yet. I think we can get a clean sheet. I don't know if it's gonna be the prettiest game ever. I'm gonna say this game is. I think we'll get two. I'm gonna say Ethan. I'm gonna match Ethan's prediction. I'm gonna say 2-0. Can I do that? Is that allowed?
Well, I went for 3, so go crazy, boss man.
All right, I can do that. I'll say 2-0. As for my goal scorer, I would love to say Klaus, but for the storylines, guys, Chris Durkin is gonna get his first goal for City and his former club.
That's
Dude,
going to be a tough alliteration next week. Durkin, dummies, dudes for a double.
Oh, Durkin scores 2. Okay.
dude, a Durkin brace against his old
Durkin
club.
Durkin double.
Dude, that would be an ideal situation because then for one of his goals, he doesn't have to celebrate against his old club, and then for his second goal, he can do the longest, furthest penguin slide that City Park has ever seen.
Okay, so for our table's sake, if both of those things happen, do you just get 1 point for calling it, or do you get 2 points for calling both goals?
Fuck. I don't know. I think we.
If you call a classy finish and a 40-yard rocket, I'm
say you
okay
get
with
2
you
points,
getting
yeah.
2 goals. 2
Okay.
points.
Yeah, you are
Okay.
in that.
Okay, bet. Well, we'll see if I earn that. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time for round 2 of Kit Clash.
Ding ding ding.
So we got the Los Blancos LA Galaxy kit. Honestly, pretty clean. As we mentioned last week, I used to be an LA Galaxy fan. I actually have quite a few LA Galaxy kits in my arsenal. Some of them are pretty cool. This home jersey is pretty tight. I've always been a fan of the white. I think this one is definitely one of the better ones I've seen in the recent years from LA Galaxy. Their home kits are kind of iffy. I used to miss the old ones back in the Robbie Keane days. But this one still does it for me. I'll give it an 8.7. I like it. And then we got the home kits for St. Louis City. Motherfucker, that's a 10. What? What? That's a 10.
Yeah, my favorite thing about LA Galaxy's jerseys in general, and this also speaks to the history of their club. The way that the championship stars line up on that badge,
Yeah, that is
It's-
so clean.
it's so nice. I'm looking at a close up right now of Puig and Vasilev going at it, and it's sick. I'm a big fan of the gold bars, the Adidas bars on the shoulders, and the gold accents on it. We talked about it last week. All white kits are sick. I rate this kit pretty high. This kit's like a 9.5 for me. And then just like you, Grayson, our home kit, it's a 10. It's the best kit in the entire league.
Galaxy jersey. For me, this is a 9, just on the money, a 9, because the stripes with the gap for the sash, it just reminds me of the good old days for the LA Galaxy. I'm sure the days that the LA Galaxy fans want to remember, and why there's a DP rule with David Beckham in that jersey with the blue sash. That's what just this jersey reminds me of. And yeah, I love that. Seeing Landon Donovan and him link up in the same team, crazy memory.
Yep, I miss that LA. But I mean they are doing pretty well on this build. I think, they had some weird years, but albeit very fun years like the Zlatan years. They weren't a very good team at all, didn't even make the playoffs. But Zlatan was sick. Like, come on, he was awesome.
Prime
Chicharito,
time.
Chicharito first season was weirdly bad, but then after that was awesome. Classic Chicharito. But yeah, not a playoff team once again. So, I mean, they got some new players, Gabriel Peck, Paintsel. We'll see how their season shapes up.
I think the only way our kit goes above a 10 is when we've got a little star hanging out right there, too.
How about 5?
I know 5 stars on the kid is crazy. What a flex.
Yeah. Slow down. We're in our second season. It's literally mathematically impossible for us to have 5 stars.
Not yet. But I hope City Boys will still be around when we do get that 5th star, baby. Let me get that.
We will be. We'll be rocking.
We'll be here celebrating.
Yeah.
Is any closing statements?
Yeah. Just want to shout out the people watching on YouTube. We got up to 20 subscribers, which I know is like a low-ish number in some people's eyes, but that's pretty huge for us. I'm pretty pumped about that. Our videos keep getting more and more views, even after being out for a while. I know we just surpassed 100 views on our first episode. If you're new to the channel and this is the first episode you're seeing, go check out our other shit. It's all the past games that we've played so far this season. But yeah, I'm Jacob. Like, subscribe, comment, come back next week.
Dude, I just know that when I lay down tonight in my Roman Berge bed, I'll be in good hands. Just want to wish everyone a good night from your boy Ethan. Thank you all for watching.
Yeah, guys, this has been the City Boys Podcast. I'm Grayson. Y'all, thanks for watching. City will be back next week, and so will we with another 3 points. Let's go.
Peace.